Ang sumusunod na mensahe ay ipinadala sa kahilingan ng pamahalaan ng Republika ng Pilipinas. Isa itong nationwide alert para sa buong Pilipinas sa ngayon. Sa 8:30 a.m., Philippine Standard Time. Ang Philippine Ports Authority kasabay ng Department of Transportation ay nagulat ng armada ng mga walang markang cargo ship na patungo sa mga daungan sa buong Pilipinas.
The following message is sent at the request of the Government of the Republic of the Philippines. This is a nationwide alert for the entire Philippines at this time. At 8:30 a.m., Philippine Standard Time. The Philippine Ports Authority in conjunction with the Department of Transportation reported a fleet of unmarked cargo ships bound for ports across the Philippines.
Hindi alam kung ano ang intensyon ng mga walang markang cargo ship, ngunit ang sitwasyong ito ay susubaybayan ng mabuti. Lahat ng mamamayan ng Republika ng Pilipinas ay hinihikayat na manatiling mapagbantay sa panahong ito.
It is not known what the intentions of the unmarked cargo ships are, but this situation will be closely monitored. All citizens of the Republic of the Philippines are encouraged to remain vigilant during this time.
Walang karagdagang aksyon ang kailangan sa oras na ito. Ang sinumang mahuling nagkakalat ng tsismis ay huhulihin at tatanungin. Manatiling nakatutok sa People's Television Network para sa higit pang mga update sa patuloy na kaganapang ito.
No further action is required at this time. Anyone caught spreading rumors will be arrested and questioned. Stay tuned to People's Television Network for more updates on this ongoing event.
Ang sumusunod na mensahe ay ipinadala sa kahilingan ng pamahalaan ng Republika ng Pilipinas. Isa itong national alert na nakakaapekto sa buong Pilipinas simula 9:50 a.m. Philippine Standard Time.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Government of the Republic of the Philippines. This is a national alert affecting the whole Philippines as of 9:50 a.m. Philippine Standard Time.
Sa 9:50 a.m. Philippine Standard Time. Ang buong bansa ay kasalukuyang sinasalakay ng Chinese at Russian ground and air forces. Ang sitwasyon tungkol sa mga barkong kargamento na walang marka at ang mga puwersang pang-ground ng China at Russia ay magkakaugnay.
At 9:50 a.m., Philippine Standard Time. The whole country is currently under attack from Chinese and Russian ground and air forces. The situation regarding the unmarked cargo ships and the Chinese and Russian ground forces are related.
Ang unmarked cargo ships ay may dalang parehong Chinese at Russian ground troops, armored vehicles, helicopters, fighter jet at military supplies. Bilang karagdagan, ang pamahalaang Chino ay nagdeklara ng digmaan sa bansa sa batayan upang i-demilitarize ang bansa at ihanay ito sa China, na sinundan ng Russian Confederation na nangako na magpadala ng mga tropang lupa sa Pilipinas.
The unmarked cargo ships were carrying both Chinese and Russian ground troops, armored vehicles, helicopters, fighter jets and military supplies. In addition, the Chinese government has declared war on the country on the basis to demilitarize the country and to align it with China, followed by the Russian Confederation pledging to send ground troops to the Philippines.
Nakuha na nila ang mga sumusunod na lugar: Cebu, Subic Bay, Davao, Iloilo, General Santos at Lucena. Inaasahang kukunin ng Chinese at Russian Army ang natitirang bahagi ng bansa sa susunod na linggo.
They have taken the following areas: Cebu, Subic Bay, Davao, Iloilo, General Santos and Lucena. It is expected that the Chinese and Russian armies to take the rest of the country in the next week.
Ang lahat ng mga mamamayan ng Republika ng Pilipinas ay inutusang magsilungan kaagad sa lugar. I-lock ang lahat ng pasukan ng iyong tahanan, magtipon ng mahahalagang supply para sa iyong pananatili sa kanlungan.
All citizens of the Republic of the Philippines are ordered to shelter in place immediately. Lock all entrances of your home. Gather essential supplies for your stay in the shelter. If you cannot find supplies or shelter, the Army will lead you designated shelters or supply bases.
Kung hindi mo mahanap ang supplies o shelter, pangungunahan ka ng Army sa mga itinalagang shelter o supply base. Huwag lumapit sa sinumang Chinese o Russian soldiers dahil sila ay armado at delikado. Manatiling nakatutok sa People's Television Network para sa higit pang mga update sa ongoing national emergency na ito.
Don't approach any Chinese or Russian soldiers as they are armed and dangerous. Stay tuned to People's Television Network for more updates on this ongoing national emergency.
Ang mensaheng ito ay ipinapalabas sa kahilingan ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas sa pagkakatapon. Sa 8:30 a.m., Philippine Standard Time, ang kabisera ng Maynila at ang nalalabing bahagi ng bansa ay bumagsak sa Russian at Chinese Army.
This message is being broadcasted at the request of the Philippine government in exile. At 8:30 a.m., Philippine Standard Time, the capital Manila and the rest of the country has fallen to the Russian and Chinese armies.
Nilusob nila ang lungsod habang nakikipaglaban sa ating magigiting at matapat na sundalo. Kasalukuyan silang sangkot sa pagpatay sa mga sibilyan, mga bilanggo ng digmaan, mga politiko, panggagahasa sa kababaihan, pagnanakaw, at panununog.
They have stormed the city while fighting our brave and loyal soldiers. They are currently involved in killing of civilians, prisoners of war, politicians, raping of women, looting, and arson.
Bilang karagdagan, ang Pangulo at ang kanyang gabinete ay tumakas sa Dominion of America at nakumbinsi ang mga pamahalaan ng Dominion of America at United Kingdom na maging militar na kasangkot sa labanang ito.
In addition, the President and his cabinet have fled to the Dominion of America and has convinced the governments of the Dominion of America and the United Kingdom to be militarily involved in this conflict.
Gayun din, Opisyal na nagdeklara ng digmaan ang United Kingdom at Dominion of America laban sa the People's Republic of China at ang Russian Confederation at kasalukuyang nagpapadala ng mga sundalo sa Pilipinas. Lahat ng mamamayan ng Republika ng Pilipinas ay dapat lumaban sa anumang paraan na kinakailangan sa pamamagitan ng alinman sa pagsisimula ng riots o acts of sabotage.
Also, the United Kingdom and the Dominion of America have officially declared war against the People's Republic of China and the Russian Confederation and are currently sending soldiers to the Philippines. All citizens of the republics of the Philippines are to resist by any means necessary by either starting riots or acts of sabotage.
Kung hindi mo magagawa ang alinman sa mga pagkilos na ito, binubuksan ng Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, East Timor, Australia at New Zealand ang kanilang mga hangganan upang payagan ang mga refugee. Ito ang People's Public Television. Ipagpapatuloy natin ang palihim na pagsasahimpapawid sa buong Pilipinas.
If you can't do any of these actions, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, East Timor, Australia and New Zealand are opening their borders to allow refugees. This is People's Public Television. We will continue to secretly broadcast the whole Philippines.
Babawiin natin ang ating bansa. Hindi pa nawawala ang Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
We will take our country back. Philippines is not yet lost. Long live the Philippines.
致所有留在菲律宾群岛的人，你腐烂的国家和政府已经落入中华民国和他的盟友俄罗斯手中。多年来，我们一直想让菲律宾与我们的国家结盟，但由于你们的总统马克思更多的与美国自治领及其大英帝国结盟，他失败了。所以我们决定入侵你们的国家并将其完全吞并为中国的一部分。你现在是中华人民共和国的一部分，成为菲律宾的新省份。你们要向中国共产党和习近平主席致敬。从晚上7点整到早上8点整，全省将实施强制宵禁。如果您在下午7点整之后被抓到，您将受到极绝处罚。菲律宾法律不再适用，将执行中国法律。每个非华裔菲律宾人都将与非华裔菲律宾人隔离开来，以免受到激进的非共产主义社会阶层的影响。普通话将成为本省在政府和日常生活中的唯一语言，其他语言不会说，也被禁止说。异议将不会被容忍，并将受到迅速和严厉的惩罚。所以你最好合作并服从中国和党，否则如果你试图反抗你的新监督者，你将面临我们权威的全面愤怒。只有通过合作，我们才能共同繁荣，抵抗是徒劳的。荣耀归于中华民国和他的英雄们。
This meeting has been called for top-ranking military officials of the British Empire and her armed forces. At 8:30 a.m. the People's Republic of China and the Russian Confederation invaded the Philippines and have annexed it as a part of China. This is an unprovoked act of war and must be met with swift retaliation. So General Perry Elias Marius has instigated Operation Death from Above, which will go like this. We will use drones armed with missiles stationed in Malaysia, Borneo, Singapore, Papua New Guinea to destroy key infrastructure in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Changsha in China, but also Cebu, Clark Freeport Zone, Bacolod City, Star, Rosa, Laguna and Davao. The missiles will be guided via radio to target factories in these target areas which produce weapons for the People's Liberation Army and the Chinese Armed Forces. This operation has an 87% success rate due to the possibility of air defense systems of China from Russia, but it is likely to impact the war effort of China. This concludes this meeting. God bless the British Empire, may the sun never set on it.
此消息是应中国本土国防军的要求与中华人民共和国政府一起广播的。中国标准时间今天下午3点，中国各地的城市和我们新吞并的菲律宾领土都发生了爆炸的报道，其中大部分集中在制造军用车辆和设备的工业区。此外，许多市民报告说，爆炸来自英国的军用无人机，但目前无法证实。建议中国大陆和菲律宾任何工业区100英里半径范围内的所有中华人民共和国公民就地避难，直至另行通知。如果您没有避难所或补给品，陆军将建立避难所和补给中心。戒严令现在将从晚上8点整到凌晨6点整生效。任何被发现违反戒严令的人都将受到即决处罚或逮捕。任何攻击任何士兵、警察或民兵成员的公民都将被枪杀而不被逮捕。任何形式的抗议都将是迅速而严厉的。人民家园防卫军将部署到中国和菲律宾全境，以维持和执行戒严令。请继续关注中央电视台，了解有关此次国家紧急状态的更多最新消息。
This is a military broadcast for high-ranking generals in the Army of the Dominion of America and the British Colonial Command Structure with Level 5 clearance and above. This message is for the Army of the Dominion of America. The islands of the Philippines were attacked and annexed by the People's Republic of China and the Maoists in the Russian Confederation. General Perry Las Marias of the United Kingdom has launched drones at major Chinese and Filipino industrial areas from British colonies in the Far East. But we now must wait until the guard of Communist China is down before we attack in our next big operation, called Operation Homecoming. In addition, we also have received new members from the Filipino Armed Forces in exile, which includes also around a surge of Polish volunteers in the PAF who will join us in the fight against the CCP. We have also allied ourselves with the Republic of Taiwan to help them reclaim the mainland when the time is nearly right. In the meantime, we will be doing commando missions behind enemy lines to cause disruption and which will also help hinder their war effort. The operation shall go like this. We will transport you on civilian cargo ships to Chinese and Filipino ports under the guise of imports from China-friendly nations such as Vietnam, Cambodia, Russia, Korea, and Cuba. And when the time is right, we will reveal ourselves and strike both our targets at the same time at midnight on the Chinese New Year, followed by the dropping of paratroopers, bombers and fighter jets to assist the attacking force. We also plan to attack from not only cargo ships but also from British Hong Kong, the British Raj and the colony of Burma for the offensive on China, but also Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia for the simultaneous offensive and Philippines as well. This operation has an 83% success rate due to the possibility of enemy resistance in the natural terrain of China, but with the commando missions it shall help in the success of this operation. This concludes this briefing on our new operation. God bless America and her allies. God bless the British Empire and may the sun never set on it.
本信息是应中华人民共和国政府的要求广播的。中国标准时间上午9点整。美国和大英帝国的士兵与来自台湾的军队、菲律宾流亡武装和波兰志愿军一起从没有标记的货船和英国在亚洲的殖民地入侵大陆，并占领了上海、天津、广州、深圳、武汉、南京、福州、杭州、哈尔滨，正在向首都北京挺进。此外，菲律宾省份还发生了进一步的袭击，已经攻占了达沃市、坎洛安市、伊洛伊洛市、马卡蒂市、碧瑶市、回松市，目前正在逼近省会马尼拉。此外，据报道，英国殖民军、台湾军队和菲律宾武装部队参与了大规模杀戮、强奸妇女、杀害战俘、杀害政客和掠夺被占领地区。建议所有中华人民共和国公民继续就地避难。政府正在命令所有18至41岁的男性入伍或加入您所在地区的地方民兵，以对抗资本帝国主义侵略者。任何不遵守此命令或被发现开小差的人都将以开小差罪立即被枪决。如果您在高层建筑中，请前往建筑物的最低层并在那里避难，直至另行通知。如果你得不到任何物资或庇护所，人民解放军已经建立了更多的庇护所和供应中心。不要失去希望，我们将从这次袭击中解放自己，我们将惩罚他们入侵我们的国家。有关此次入侵的更多详情，敬请关注中央电视台。中国必胜。
This is a broadcast to members of the AEF, the British Army, the Taiwanese Armed Forces and the Filipino Armed Forces in exile. We regret to inform that we are currently dealing with a cold front and have been forced to abandon most of our captured territory with orders to do a scorched earth policy on anything the Chinese army might find useful. We also regret to inform that the Chinese High Command has launched 3 waves of 5 non-nuclear ballistic missiles to the captured areas in the Philippines, which resulted in around 55% of our expeditionary forces being destroyed as a result. However, we have been pushed back to Nanjing, but we will hold the south of China and Nanjing, and we shall resupply those armies from Malaysia, India and Burma, South Korea and Japan until the winter ends, and then we can continue our attack on the Chinese mainland. This concludes this broadcast. God save the King and long live the British Empire and her glory.
This is a broadcast to level 5 or above members of the AEF, the Commonwealth Task Force, the Taiwanese military and the Filipino Armed Forces in exile. Lower level access is restricted. This meeting concerns the missiles that were fired at our forces in occupied territory in the Philippines. Our special forces found the missiles to be of American origin. The key is that American systems were found in the missile launch containers that look like shipping containers, and an American flag being found on one that didn't fire. It seems that we have a traitor in the AEF and the Commonwealth Task Force. We will hunt this traitor down and deal with him with accordance with military law. This concludes this meeting. Have a nice day and may the sun never set on the British Empire and her allies. This is an update to the previous Level 5 broadcast about the missiles launched by the Chinese High Command. It has been shocking to know that we have identified the traitor as General Simon Graves. According to our intelligence bureaus, in an intercepted message to Graves he will be handsomely rewarded in exchange for the missiles. This could mean two things: either huge profits or control of the Philippines if the Chinese win the war. And in another shocking twist, the CIA, MI6 and Interpol have discovered the invention of a new drug called Sky High and is made of cocaine, heroin and marijuana, which General Shepherd created in a plot to kill King Charles III, William Prince of Wales, Catherine Middleton Princess of Wales, their children and Andrew Duke of York. The motive is for his hatred of the British monarchy regarding Diana Spencer and his support for the British Labour Party politician Jeremy Corbyn. To grossly summarize, he sold the missiles to China in plotting to assassinate members of the British royal family for these reasons, which counts as an act of treason against His Majesty King Charles III of the British Empire. In other updates, the Russian Confederation has fallen into a civil war between the Maoists regime of the Socialist Party of the USSR and the Gorbachevists rebels, which has impacted the Chinese war effort. We will find him and deal with him for these shocking treasonous plots and betrayal. He will not go unpunished. This concludes this military broadcast. May the sun never set on the British Empire and her allies.
This message is to our soldiers of the British Commonwealth Task Force of the Far East, the Taiwanese Armed Forces and the Filipino Armed Forces in exile on the Chinese and Filipino front. It's safe to say that the winter has passed and spring has sprung, and so has our new spring offensive to capitulate the People's Republic of China. For the final push to Beijing, we will use overwhelming numbers and combined arms to push in and recapture all cities we lost in the winter retreat. It shall start by artillery bombardment to weaken the defenses of those cities and storm quickly to kill off any remaining resistance left. This mission will have a 74% success rate, but we shall prevail victoriously. This ends this military broadcast. Don't fail us. God save the King, and may the sun never set on the British Empire and her allies.
这是给所有中国大陆公民的信息。中共他的腐败和暴政已落入合法政权之手。今天中午12点。 我们的战士在你们的人民大会堂上空升起了蓝天白日红地的旗帜。我们是台湾岛的国民党。由于我们与魏玛德国和大英帝国的联盟，我们夺回整个中国大陆的目标已经成为现实。我们终于收复了先辈和英雄蒋介石的家园。这个地方就是中华民国，以北京为首都。蔡英文将成为中华民国总理，国家元首将是民选总统。 中华民国的语言将是普通话，该语言应为政府的官方语言。我们信奉以下真理：言论自由、民主、政治自由、自由。西藏将在2027年农历新年后获得独立，承认共产党统治下当地藏人的压迫。中共将被取缔，其成员将因危害人类罪和对维吾尔人的种族灭绝罪而受到审判。让其他共产党人和社会主义者知道这一点。 我们会找到你并惩罚你。你会希望你不是共产主义者。共产主义现在是一种非法的意识形态，任何表达共产主义观点的人都将被逮捕并送往我们众多已建立的再教育小村庄之一。这些小村庄将为那些共产主义者及其家人提供良好的生活条件，以免引起共产主义叛乱。这些营地是在德意志联邦共和国、美利坚合众国和英国的帮助下建立的。 他们在战争期间帮助我们夺回了与生俱来的权利。任何逃离这些缩小的村庄或企图杀害其他居民或村民人员的人都会被拘留或当场枪决。开始我们的正义与控制课程。习近平在PC 后面被我军士兵开枪倒掉。此外，我们同意将菲律宾从英联邦统治下解放出来。总而言之，今天我们很高兴，中国共产党不存在了。 战争结束了，我们已经赢得胜利，同意西藏独立，起诉共产党人，菲律宾独立，建立这个新的国家。中华民国。中华民国宣言的讯息到此结束。真正的中华民国万岁，英雄万岁！
硝烟在那欢呼中骄傲地飘扬，百年的屈辱因5000个日夜吸血而冲撞。我们的勋章镌刻独立自由，在那海国中挂满了胸膛。如今幸福生活的人们为你而荣光。
Ang mensaheng ito ay ipinalabas sa kahilingan ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas at ng gobyerno ng Dominion of America kasabay ng British Commonwealth. Isa itong emergency na pagwawakas ng aksyon.
This message is broadcasted at the request of the Philippine government and the government of the Dominion of America, in conjunction with the British Commonwealth. This is an emergency action termination.
Sa 5 p.m. Philippine Standard Time, ang iyong isla na bansa ay napalaya na mula sa CCP at sa tyrannikong pamamahala nito. Sa ganap na 12 a.m., ang mga sundalo ng Philippine First Army kasama ang the Polish Volunteers ay lumusab sa Kapitolyo ng Maynila at itinaas ang pambansang watawat ng Pilipinas sa Rizal Park. Ang huling vestige ng gobyerno ng China at ng Communist Chinese nationhood ay natapos na.
At 5 p.m., Philippine Standard Time. Your island nation has been liberated from the CCP and its tyrannical rule. At 12 a.m., soldiers of the Philippine First Army with the Polish volunteers have stormed the capital Manila and raised the national flag of the Philippines over Rizal Park. The last vestige of the government of China and of communist Chinese nationhood has come to an end.
Ligtas na ngayong lumabas sa iyong mga kanlungan ngunit ang iyong bansa ay lubhang napinsala bilang resulta ng digmaan. Mananatili kami at tutulungan ang iyong bansa na ayusin ang sarili mula sa pinsala at malapit ng magsagawa ng boto sa lanta na sumali ka sa amin bilang isang teritoryo ng Dominion ng Amerika at sa makatuwid ay bahagi ng British Commonwealth at Empire o manatili bilang isang malayang bansa.
It is now safe to exit your shelters, but your country is heavily damaged as a result of the war. We will stay and help your nation repair itself from the damage and will soon hold the vote on whether you will join us as a territory of the Dominion of America, and therefore be part of the British Commonwealth and Empire, or remain as an independent nation.
Ito ang dalawang pagpipilian kung gusto mong magpasya kung ano ang magiging Pilipinas sa araw ng botohan. Ito ang nagtatapos sa broadcast na ito. Have a nice day and mabuhay ang Pilipinas at ang kanyang mga bayani at virtues.
These are the two choices if you want to decide on what the Philippines will be on the day of the vote. This concludes this broadcast. Have a nice day and long live the Philippines and her heroes and virtues.
This is a message being broadcasted at the request of the government of the Dominion of America. This message is being broadcasted regarding the results of the referendum on the state of the Philippine Archipelago. At 8 p.m., Filipino Standard Time. The vote has been concluded in the majority favoring of joining the Dominion of America in the north, and in the south, the majority favored in joining the British Empire as a crown colony. Since both regions are now part of the British Commonwealth and Empire, all citizens must swear loyalty to His Majesty Charles III and the British monarchy. President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. has been appointed Governor of the Commonwealth of the Philippines by His Majesty Charles III and his government. We will allow this to happen peacefully and democratically. As of this moment, the Filipino archipelago has been split amongst the 8th parallel. The Governor-General of the Dominion of America, Kenneth Collier, shall deliver a speech on behalf of the government to summarize this broadcast. Please stand by.
Greetings to all Filipinos listening to this message. I am General Kenneth Collier of the Dominion of America. Through a vote, 77% of you wanted to join the Dominion as a territory. We will allow that to happen, as well as keeping your culture flourishing. We will help protect not only your islands, but also the culture. It would also seem that down south, a bunch of people wanted to join the British Empire as a territory. We shall allow that to happen, with the 29th parallel being sanctioned to our country. In the northern half, you will join the DOA as a territory, and the southern half as a dominion. Rest assured that together, we will help your country and dominion flourish, as well as keeping your culture intact. Thank you. God bless America, God bless the British Empire, and God bless all you Filipinos out there. May we last long.
We will help you flourish to your pre-war state and serve justice on the victims of the war. This concludes this message of the creation of the Commonwealth of the Philippines. God bless America and God bless the British Empire and its new territories, and God save the King. We shall flourish as one glorious, mighty empire and world superpower.
The following broadcast is transmitted at the request of the Government of the United Kingdom and His Majesty Charles III. This message is being broadcasted in regards to the results of the referendum of Philippines becoming a crown colony or being independent. At 8 p.m., the result of this referendum is that an overwhelming majority of citizens have voted in favor of the southern Philippines be a crown colony of the British Empire. This land shall be known as the Colony of British Philippines, with the capital being Davao City. Maria Imelda Josefa Remedios Romualdez Marcos has been appointed Chief Secretary of British Philippines after being voted into office, and former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has been appointed as the first governor of the new Crown Colony. The government of this colony shall be the establishment of the Colonial Legislative Council, which shall be in control of legislation under the guidance of the Westminster Government. Since the southern Philippines is now a new crown colony of the British Empire, all citizens must swear loyalty to His Majesty King Charles III of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland and his successors. The economy of British Philippines shall follow the capitalist system, with many British companies investing in the Crown Colony to boost the economy and to also help in the improvement of the standard of living. The official languages of the colony of British Philippines will be English and Tagalog. English shall be used as the official language in governance and in the making of official statements. Tagalog shall still be used in everyday life, and every other language, including the language of Spanish, has been given recognition as minority languages. The remaining soldiers of the Philippine Armed Forces have been incorporated into the British Colonial Auxiliary Forces as the Philippine Regiment under the jurisdiction of the British Army. In addition to this, British soldiers will also be deployed to the colony as part of the East of Suez policy to maintain both law and order and to protect our interests in Philippines. The school system of southern Philippines shall follow the British school system of having primary education, secondary education, further education and higher education to enhance the prospects and opportunity of children and of the next generation of Filipino men and women. This colony shall also have free travel, which will be implanted in the colony, and the border with the Dominion of America's mandate of Philippines shall be open to travel. Healthcare shall follow the model of the NHS in the United Kingdom, of it being free healthcare unlike other nations where healthcare must be paid for. The justice system shall be rid of all corruption, of having corrupt judges, and the policing shall be done by the newly formed Royal Filipino Constabulary under the guidance of Governor Boris Johnson. The following is a speech from His Majesty King Charles III of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. Greetings to all citizens of the new Crown Colony of British Philippines. It is a pleasure for you all to be new subjects of the British Empire. When the news of your plight against the People's Republic of China came to the attention of Prime Minister and Admiral General Perry Elias Marius, who is the first British Prime Minister to be of Filipino descent, he and his cabinet decided to take action due to the Chinese aggression and how it was threatening our colonies in Southeast Asia and how it was his proud ancestral homeland. By decree of British law, British Philippines shall be the latest British Crown colony in the Empire, with its stoic, proud, rich, admirable, jolly culture and traditions intact, and be allowed to prosper peacefully and without turmoil, and to improve the lives of its people and land. Your gratitude towards Britain is acknowledged and appreciated. May this new era of Filipino history be as glorious, prosperous and peaceful to you all. This ends my speech. Thank you for listening. We shall conclude this broadcast by playing the anthem of British Philippines. God save the King, and may the sun never set on the British Empire.
makinig